nasa atin po ngayong StreamYard si Attorney Israelito Torion, ang isa sa mga abogado po ni Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. Attorney, magandang umaga po, sir.
Hello, magandang umaga rin sa lahat ng nakikinig at nagmamasid ngayon sa inyong istasyon.
Opo, salamat na marami, Attorney. Attorney, may panawagan po kay Pastor Quiboloy ang kinauukulan. This morning po, NBI Amina Kapanayam, Senator Bato de la Rosa, at maging mismo ho ang mga taga-gobyerno na kumaari ay sumuko na lang po ng kusa si Pastor para po harapin ang kanyang kasong kinakaharap po dito nga po sa Prosecutor's Office at sa trial court. Ano po ang tugon ng inyong kliyente?
Well, I think you heard his declaration, no? Meron lang sana siyang request. Lahat naman ng mga kasama niya nag-surrender kaagad, no? No question about it when they learned that a warrant of arrest was already issued by the Regional Trial Court of Davao City. Sila Kapitan Crescente Canada, si Ma'am Ingrid Canada, si Jacqueline Roy, si Simanes, as well as Pauline Canada, immediately surrendered to the authorities. The only fear of Pastor Apollo Quiboloy, why he is not yet recognized the jurisdiction of the court, no, or he is not yet under the custody, no, of the law, is his legitimate fear na baka nga extraordinary rendition siya. Kasi may complication kasi itong kaso na ito. Hindi lang kasi ito sa Pilipinas. Meron din yung mga kalaban niya at saka ginagamit din sa politika na mga kaso din sa United States of America. Ang kanyang fear is that these may be used by his opponents so that the forces of the United States of America may exercise extraordinary rendition against him. Yun po ang kanyang fear. Kaya nga may request sana siya na kung pwede lang sana, may assurance yung gobyerno na dito siya sa Philippines and he will not be transported legally or illegally to the United States of America. Yun po ang kanyang request sana.
Opo. Is that a request or a demand, Attorney?
No, it's a request. You know, I hope the public will understand that Pastor Apollo Quiboloy, when he made that statement, he made it as a layman. He may be a very intelligent man, but he does not know the intricacies of the law completely. He has certain ideas, but he is still a layman. He is not trained in the law. So at that time when he made such declaration, I was in Manila, also attending to some of my cases. So I did not know about that declaration. I only learned it later even from his leaders. So yun po ang nangyari doon. So we should take it also in context, in the fact that although he is a very intelligent man, he is also a layman.
Opo. Ang atin lang pong basis attorney sa katanungan na yon, dahil if I may quote, no, the good pastor, if you fail to give in written form these conditions from the office of the President, office of the Secretary of Justice, PNP, NBI, and CIDG, you will never see my face. Yun po sinasabi niya. So, attorney, yun hong fear ng inyo pong kliyente na baka siya, meron kayong ginagamit na term, di ho ba yung extradition process is a legal process na mahaba-haba pong proseso at hindi ho naman niya na ipapatupad without due process of law, as you know. So ano pong basis mo para ka matakot doon, gayong hindi naman magagawa yan ng sino mang bansa na meron tayong tratado na agad mong damputin ng isang Pilipino ng gano'n na lamang po nang wala pong hindi dumaan sa proseso?
Well, we are not talking about extradition, which is actually based upon the treaty. What he fears is extraordinary rendition, which is actually an extrajudicial process being practiced by the United States of America of, in layman's term, kidnapping certain personalities who harm U.S. interest outside and bring it to a country, third country, which laws are not so strict in so far as extra-legal confessions are concerned. So ito po yung fear niya kasi Dito lang sa Davao, may nangyari nga noon, yung Mering, a certain Mering, an American citizen who was allegedly involved in a bombing here in Davao City. And this was during the time of Davao City Mayor Rodrigo Duterte, former President Rodrigo Duterte. And the police authorities here were already ready to arrest him and to file cases against him. But all of a sudden, he disappeared. Yun pala, allegedly, of course, we are not, allegedly, he was taken by certain U.S. authorities daw para i-hide at dinala doon sa United States of America.
But,
at saka, ito extraordinary rendition, ginagawa din ito. It's a known fact na yung i-kidnap, tapos dalahin doon sa mga areas na mga black sites, tapos doon gagawin yung mga questioning, doon yung mga torture na ginagawa po. Yun po ang legitimate fear ng aking kliyente. Oo.
Opo, but citing the example of that Mering, di ba kasenyuhon ng galing American citizen po ito?
Yes, but if you want a very good example, what about General Manuel Noriega of Panama? He was even de facto president during that time of Panama, no? And he was a friend of the United States of America during that time, but because of certain allegations that he was involved in drug trafficking, the U.S. invaded Panama, and he was transported from Panama towards United States of America. And that can be cited as an example. Many examples likewise of those involved in the war against terror, no? Yung masuspect ka, even in Poland, there was an incident where a cleric was abducted with the help of the government of Poland, and he was transported to black sites. Yun po ang legitimate fear po na aking.
Sige po. Opo. So, attorney, kasi po sinasabi po ni Pastor no, doon sa arrest order o hearing ng Senado na hindi kami sisipot dyan kasi hindi namin kinikilala yan at dito kami sa proper forum. Na ito nga, kung meron kayong kaso, magdemanda kayo sa criminal court at doon kami haharap. Pero ngayon po, nangyari nga ito, meron siya arrest warrant pero hindi siya lumalantad because of this one. Ito ho naman itong kanyang fear ngayon na sinasabi ho ninyo na baka mangyari nga sa kanya ito na siya ay kidnapin ng Amerika. So, attorney, kung sasandal tayo doon sa sinasabi ng inyong kliyente na kami susunod sa tamang proseso, opo, ano po iyon? Well, anong proseso ngayon po ang susundin po ninyo?
Well, right now, his co-accused will really face the cases. And we are now in the process also of discussion with Pastor Apollo Kibuloy about this matter. He is a layman nga eh. So we have to explain to him the processes of the courts. But this well-grounded fear on his part also has hindered him na baka nga gagawin nga yun. Yun nga ang in-explain pa natin sa kanya. And he also has a right to decide on this matter. So kung wala lang yung kaso sa Amerika, yung fear na he is ready, able, and willing to face all of these cases in order to prove his innocence po.
Okay. Sige po. So sir, meron bang kayo bilang abogado niya at sa kanyang legal team ni Pastor, is there a legal remedy to prevent that from happening? I don't know, if yan ba, pwede ba kayong dumulog sa nakatataas na hukuman concerning that na itong hinihingi nyo na kasiguraduhan na hindi po makikialam ang Amerika dito po sa kaso ni Pastor sa Pilipinas?
Well, as to legal remedy, kaya nga mahirap kung gagawin na yun ng United States of America. If that will be done, anong legal remedy namin? Medyo mahirapan kami. Diplomatic, kung what if the Republic of the Philippines would not also cooperate, where will we go? United Nations? Of course, United Nations can only entertain states. We are but individuals who are, subject of a state. So, the legal remedies, if that will be done by the United States of America, are really almost impossible to do. Baka dudulog kami sa UN Human Rights Committee, parang ganon. It cannot also compel the United States of America because it has powers in the United Nations, being a member of the Security Council, permanent member of the Security Council.
Sige po. So, attorney, Ang inyo bang kliyente ay nasa Pilipinas ba?
Sa pagkakaalam ko, nandito po sa Pilipinas sa pagkakaalam ko. Yes.
Opo. Sige po, may huling tanong lang po si Chacha, attorney, I hope you don't mind. Go ahead.
Yes po, attorney. Yung pong sinasabi ni Pastor Apollo Quiboloy na hindi ako magpapahuli ng buhay, does this mean na, paano po lalaban po siya physically?
I was not actually present when he said that. No, I was not the one who advised him that. That was actually his personal opinion on the matter, and I think you should understand that he's also a layman. Imagine you are a respected man, you lead more than 6 million followers, and you have done charity works, humanitarian works for our people, and then you are unjustly accused of all of these crimes na na-dismiss naman sana sa Department of Justice noon pa. And binuhay lang ito dahil sa politika. Yun nga ang nasabi niya. Bugso ng damdamin po yun dahil sa kanyang frustrations in the justice system of our country. I think we should give him some leeway.
Last na lang po sa akin, baka may ilang katanungan pa si Manong Ted sa inyo. Ano pong reaksyon nyo doon sa mga tao na nagsasabi hanggang sa ngayon, simula nung pinapatawag siya ng Senate hearing, hanggang sa ngayon, nandito na tayo sa DOJ na matagal hiniling ni Pastor na doon siya sa right forum sasagot, pero hindi pa rin po siya lumalantad sa ngayon. Ang mga sinasabi ng ilan, kung wala talagang kasalanan, bakit hindi humarap? Ano pong reaksyon ng inyo pong kliyente dito?
Well, una sa lahat, si Pastor Apollo Quiboloy ay walang kasalanan nitong other sexual abuse, other acts of child abuse, at saka itong qualified human trafficking na napatunayan na po ito na napadismiss namin 2 beses sa City Prosecutor's Office po. At doon nga sa Department of Justice, nabinbin ito nearly 4 years. And if we will follow Tatad versus Sandigan Bayan, Kagang ruling, Kagang versus Sandigan Bayan, Katamco versus Sandigan Bayan, even Joseph Peñas versus Comelec, all accused have the right to speedy disposition of cases. Supposedly dismissed na ito. Akala ni Pastor dismissed na ito, wala na ito, no? And all of a sudden, because of the political developments of our country, nangyari ito, binuhay na lang ulit. So you should give Pastor Apollo Quiboloy some leeway, no? At the end of the day, he will be able to prove that all of these cases are nonsense, that he is innocent of all these crimes alleged against him.
Pardon me, attorney, hindi ho ba itong mga kasong ito ay new facts and new complainants? Hindi ito yung dati pa?
No, ito pang dati. This was even filed as early as December 18 of 2019. Ito yung kaso ni Blenda Portugal po. And she filed it only after warrants of arrest for cyber libel were filed against her in the Regional Trial Court of Panabo City in 2018. Nag-file kami ng cyber libel cases against her. Na-issuehan siya ng mga warrants of arrest, nadakip siya, and all of a sudden, meron itong kaso na na-file noong December 18, 2019. Na-dismiss ito on January 29, 2020. Nag-file siya ng MR, November 23, 2020. Nag-petition for review, January 4, 2021. Kailan lang na-resolve? Only on March 3 of 2024, more than 3 years. Kung Tatad versus Sandigan Bayan ang magiging yardstick natin, dapat dismissed na ito. Kasi sa Tatad versus Sandigan Bayan, wala ngang 3 years yung kaso. Dinismiss ng Supreme Court kasi violation sa right to speedy disposition of cases. Ito mas mataas pa. And wala talagang basihan yung complaint against him. Kasi nga, may mga rason na because sa korte.
Nag-freeze po ang ating signal, ang ating internet. Alright. So, Attorney Torion, we thank you for your time. Sorry po at nagka-problema na yung ating internet connection. At kami huy muling tatawag kung kinakailangan para po sa panig ng inyo pong kliyente. Salamat kay Attorney Israelito Torion, ang isa po sa mga abogado ni Pastor Apollo Quiboloy.
Ted Filon at DJ Chacha ngayon nasa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM Monday to Friday 6 to 10 a.m.